Hey everybody, how you doing? So I've taken another break from my videos and I wanted to explain what was happening. How I was all gung-ho about coming on and doing lots more videos and then all of a sudden I disappeared. So a few things were going on in my life. I ended up in hospital with an unknown disease. Just randomly out of nowhere, I was working, I was saving for a mortgage, and then all of a sudden, lightning struck. I got what I thought was a stroke at first, and turns out I had a seizure. So I spent weeks being in hospital, being tested in any kind of way, and I started having seizures, and they thought it was epilepsy at first. Then, after the stroke, they thought it was migraines, epilepsy. They thought it was loads of other things. So I finally been diagnosed as having a rare disease called functional neurological disorder, where I have seizures, I have trouble walking, I'm walking on a walking stick, I'm going through rehabilitation. So, there's been a lot of stuff the last few weeks, like a lot of negative things that came up for me. Will I be able to work again? I'll never be able to drive again? You have to be seizure free for a certain amount of time. And then today they told me that there is no medication for the seizures. Whereas if you have epilepsy, medication works to an extent, but works. You can still have a normal life. Whereas I was told today basically that, with cognitive behavioral therapy and a few other things that we can reduce the seizures, but I'm still going to have plenty during the day. So I hit a wall and I went a bit numb at first. And I talked to the neurological psychologist as well. And, I told her a few things about what's going on in my life and how I was adjusting, how my family were. I came home and I could hear my mother crying. And then just something hit me. I was in the house on my own and I just went, no, this isn't the end. This isn't it. I spent years fighting depression. I've spent years fighting anxiety. I find every natural thing under the sun to be able to help myself. And I said to myself, I won't go back there. And now that I have something that's a little bit more challenging to control, constant seizures, it's going to be tough for me to be able to get back to work. But part of me was like, at first it was like, well, work said to me that you can't come back to work unless you've had a week seizure free. They can't legally fire me, but they've given me that kind of ultimatum of, oh, it's not legally safe for us and we can't insure you and all this kind of stuff. And the word disability was kind of knocked around and I was kind of like, I'm not disabled. I'm walking around, I'm still going out meeting my friends. I can't come back to work. And I just sort of said to myself, do you know what? This disabled thing kind of gets knocked around a lot. And again, I've never had to deal with it before. I've always tried to, hold a flag for anybody with a disability and treat them like normal, treat them with equality. I have a friend who's in a wheelchair. I've always tried to treat them the same as everybody else. I don't see a disability. I see a person, and if I get on with them, I get on with them, But for me, I really started to see different things, like walking around our local shopping centre, and people are treating me differently. A lot of people were looking at me and kind of going, you're kind of young, having a walking stick. So some people looked at me angrily, like, are you faking it? Which was weird because I wouldn't even project that kind of negativity. I didn't think that people would do that sort of thing. Again, maybe I'm a bit naive. And then other people were like, aw. And I was kind of like, why? I'm walking. So part of me was like, I'm not angry at these people. I'm just amazed at this still being here. And I joined an epilepsy and seizure group on Facebook, and a lot of people I went in, I said, so you guys working, did you get back up on your feet after it started, whatever? The majority of them were like, oh, I got fired from this job, and I lost my family, people didn't take it well, I lost all my friends, and I was just kind of like, that's so shit. Oh my God, I never knew that it was so hard for people with disabilities. And I'm really starting to see from my own perspective, people acting weird around me. Like one day I went into Boots and I bought some stuff, and I was struggling with my bag, my wallet, and my walking stick, and my Boots card. So I was kind of like juggling, and the woman, opened my bag for me and helped put everything in it, and then patted me on the hand and said, "There you go, love. Have a nice day. Take care of yourself, okay?" And at first I was furious. I was like, I don't need that condescending tone. I don't need to be told. Like, I could have packed my bag myself. And then I was like, you know what? Like, she probably was just like nicer than some of the people who are just weirdly avoiding me. Like when I'm walking, people walk like really far around me, and it's like, oh my god, she's infectious. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? Why are people treating me so differently? I'm 34. I've had 34 years of having people treat me like this is a normal person. This is, well, normal. But I always kind of like saw people treating people with disabilities differently, but doing it from your own perspective for a change, it's like, wow, I really got the depth of how shitty you feel. And then like I went and I saw some friends in work, and who I normally, like, I'm a very huggy person, and I go up and I hug everybody, and I went to hug people and they were like, are you okay? Like, they're there, kind of like, I was like, it's not infectious, it's a neurological disease I have, it's functional neurological disorder, it's, and it doesn't happen all day, so you're not going to break me by hugging me. But again, everybody has to adjust to it differently. And yeah, like, I mean, it's a huge shock for like my family, my friends to kind of understand that this is something that is going to affect me for the rest of my life, and there's no medication for it. So I'm kind of like, okay. So at first I was saying to my parents, like, there's disability benefit, you can work part-time, blah, blah. And they were like, don't have that defeatist attitude. I was really mad at them because I thought they were like not taking it seriously. And then when I was told that there is no medication for it, I was like, no, no, you're not telling me that I can't do this, that I can't get up and do a job and save for my own place. I was like, this isn't going to happen. I'm going to get up anyway, and I'm going to fight. And if I have to champion for other people's with disabilities to be able to get jobs or keep jobs or whatever, I'm going to do it. I'm already a member of the Green Party, and I was like, my computer's doing something. Come on, computer. Not right now. It's trying to do an update or something. But anyway, yeah, I'm already a member of the Green Party in Ireland, and I'm already trying to like fight for, human rights. I was part of the Yes Equality campaign. I fought for people to be able to get married no matter what gender they were marrying. And I'm going to do my best to make this as part of my cause. Like fighting for, animal rights, vegetarianism, veganism, all that kind of stuff is really important to me, because it's like, it's about being that extra little bit compassionate. But this is an area that is like, oh my God, this is something that physically affects me now, and I really get it. And I feel annoyed at myself that I haven't done anything before. I'm being brutally honest with you. I feel horrible that this has gone on in my country, that people can feel threatened about losing their jobs, that can feel threatened about losing their family, their friends, and there's not enough education out there about even epilepsy, even though I have a non-epileptic disorder, and there's not enough information about epilepsy. People panic when I'm having seizures, and they're like, oh my God, you're going to die. I'm like, I have 20 of these a day. I'm not going to die. I could die if like I fall down and hit my head, but than that, it's just, you just have to wait for it basically to stop. But like along the way, I have fought, and I have learned such important lessons about how hard things happen in your life and how much they can teach you. And if you have your eyes shut and go, oh, I'm going into the fear, you are going to go into the fear and you're going to stay there. When I went to the physio, she said to me, if you hadn't done yoga before this had happened, you'd be in a wheelchair right now, and your rehabilitation would have taken a year, maybe 2, and you're walking with a stick and you'll be off that stick in a few weeks. And I was like, I was like, you see, people say yoga isn't important. It saved my legs. The day after my first seizure, I was in the hospital. I came out and I was venting about something to my friend on the phone, like through video. And I sent her the video, and then a guy came out with his leg freshly amputated. And I was complaining about how my legs hurt and I couldn't feel them properly anymore. And I walked in and I went, damn, that is a way to humble somebody. That was a way to make somebody feel like, you know what? My problems are petty. I still have my legs. I can rehabilitate them. And I went, no, this is, that poor guy, like, he was out there on his own having a smoke. And I was just, I looked at him and I just went, dude, like, you're a champion. Like, and it was just like, I've had plenty of those moments. Like, I walked out of the hospital at first and my gratitude app popped up on my screen. And like, my first seizure was horrific and I thought I was going to die. I was like, that's it. I can't move my body. I can't open my eyes. I can't breathe. I'm crying. And it went on for like 5 minutes and I was like, that's it. This is me going to heaven. This is me gone. And my gratitude app just went bing as I got out of the hospital, and I just went and I said, what are you grateful for? And I was like mind blown moment where I was like, what am I grateful for? Everything. My legs, my family, everything. So I just want to leave that for you. Don't keep your eyes closed through a tough time, because you will learn so much. I'll probably do another video about like my whole hospital stay and everything like that. But for the moment, I want you to take that in. That those few things that I picked up while in the hospital, they have blown my mind and made me go, wow. I could be ungrateful about not being able to drive, or all that other stuff like that might come with all this, but I don't know where I'm going. And I'm sure I'm going to fight every minute of the way, because I am not that kind of person to sit down and wait and say to people, I'm in a wheelchair now. I'm going to sit in my room and look at the wall for the rest of my life. No, that's not who I am. I am going to get up. I'm going to go on. I'm going to be successful. And you'll see. Watch this space.